So yung lesson natin for today actually is just solving problems involving colligative properties. So sabi nga natin, ito yung mga properties ng solution that differ from their pure solvent properties because of the solute na na-dissolve sa kanila. Isa dyan is yung vapor pressure lowering. So if you have a solution, we expect that the vapor pressure formed by the solution will be lower to that of the pure solvent with the following formula. Ayan. So nagde-depend siya sa Van't Hoff factor as well as sa mole fraction of your solute and the pure solvent vapor pressure. And nasabi natin that the Van't Hoff factor is dependent naman on what type of solute na na-dissolve sa solvent mo. If it's a covalent compound, your Van't Hoff factor is 1 o yung I, and will differ depending on the number of ions that will be present in case your solute dissolves in your solvent. Yeah. So isa din dyan is your boiling point elevation and freezing point depression. So higher ang boiling point ng solution, lower ang freezing point ng isang solution. And this is dependent, or these are dependent on the, again, Van't Hoff factor I and yung constant ng freezing point saka boiling point and the molality. So let's solve some problems involving, so another one pala is the osmotic pressure, but we will not discuss this in detail. Ayan. So for example, can you read this one, Daryl James? Tama ba, Daryl James? Ang name. Ay. Hello, Daryl, are you there? Sige, Migs. Okay. So dito, pinapaka-calculate sa atin is the vapor pressure of the solution. Yung P solution ng glycerol, yan yung pinapahanap sa atin. You're given the following. You have the mass of the glycerol to be equal to 34 grams. Yan. Aside dyan, meron ka ding mass ng water, 500 grams. The vapor pressure of your pure water is 23.76 torr. Yan. So excuse me. Manggagaling dito yung ating P solution. Paano ba natin sinosolve yung pure solvent yung solution vapor pressure? Manggagaling siya sa formula na to. Ayan, delta P equal siya sa I X solute P naught solvent. Okay. Ito yan. Ito. Na yan daw ay equal dito. Na ito daw ay equal sa solvent, pure solvent vapor pressure minus your P the vapor pressure of your solution. Ito yung gusto nating hanapin. Ito. Dapat, kung yan yung gusto nating hanapin, dapat based sa given, so kung de-derive ko siya, ito tatranspose ko sa kabila. Ito tatanggalin ko na. Tapos ito, tatranspose ko naman din sa kabila. Kaya maging itsura niya, maging positive na yung P solution. Yan. Equal daw siya sa P naught solvent minus your Van Hoff factor I X solute or molar mass of the mole fraction of your solute times P naught solvent or the pure solvent. Dun sa mga given natin, alam na natin tong P naught solvent. Yan. Yung vapor pressure ng pure solution. Ang hindi natin alam, ano ba yung I? Ano ba yung X solute? Mole fraction ng solute. Since your solute is a covalent to eh. Covalent yan. Hindi siya, ayan no, kahit sa mismong structure niyan, hindi naman yan ionic. Dahil covalent siya, kapag dinisolve mo siya sa water, hindi siya magdi-dissociate. It will still remain on its molecule, ano. Same lang, hindi siya magiging ions. Magiging pa rin siyang C3H8O3. And therefore, your Van Hoff factor is equal to 1. Again, your Van Hoff factor will only be greater than 1 depending kapag ionic compound siya. So, depende kung ilan yung madi-dissolve na ions. Okay. Your X solute, ano yung solute natin? Mole fraction glycerol. This one is equal to the mole glycerol over your mole of glycerol plus mole of water. Kung hindi naalala kung paano mag-compute ng mole fraction, ito yan. Ito. Mole fraction. Naalala na? Thumbs up guys kung naalala na. Naalala ba? Yes? Okay, good. Ito yan, nag-solve pa nga tayo. Ayan, mole fraction. Kung ano yung hinahanap mo na compound, siya yung nasa numerator, mole ng compound na yun divided by mole of the solute plus mole of the solvent. Kaya ganyan yung nangyari dyan. Ayan. Ang issue ay, what we're given is not mole, but in terms of mass. Ayan. Diba? So, ang gagawin natin, we just convert yung ating mga grams to mole para ma-solve natin yung nasa taas. For glycerol, C3H8, ano nga yun? C3H8O3 na siya ay 34 grams. Convert lang natin yan. Is so in 92.091 grams of your glycerol, 1 mole. So you have 3.369 mole of your glycerol. Yan. Nagets? Gets ba guys? Molar mass lang to to. Molar mass. Baka hindi pa alam kumuha ng molar mass. Alam na?
Opo.
Okay, next. Water. Sabi niya ay 500 grams. So 500 grams of H2O. Yan. So sobrang dalas ko ng ino-compute yung molar mass ng H2O, sa ulo ko na siya, no? Yan, 18.016. Huwag na kayo mag-compute. Yan na yun. 0.016. So you have 27.7531 mole of water. Ayan. So yan yung mga values na yan, yung isa-substitute natin so that you'll be able to get your mole glycerol, which is yan, de-divide mo sa 27.7531 plus yan, 0.1313. Yan. Yan yung mole fraction. And with that, just substitute the values. So you have P solution equal to, kopyahin muna natin lahat ulit. Yan. Peanut solvent is, ito, 27.36, ay, 23.76 pala. Minus 1 times 0.01313 times 23.76. $23.45. Okay ba? Nasundan, guys? Questions? Nasundan ba? Saan nalito? Okay naman? Naintindihan ba? May part na hindi nasundan? Jeric, okay naman?
Okay naman po, sir.
Yung sa iba, Ivan. Stephanie, naintindihan ba? AC. You understand? Clear ba? Wala nagsasalita so I assume naintindihan. May part bang malabo? Okay naman? Okay, sige. So that's when you are solving for a problem involving vapor pressure, ano. So mahalaga sa vapor pressure, syempre aside sa alam natin yung formula, alam natin kung ano yung I, which is the Van't Hoff factor. So depende yan sa anong klaseng solute siya or anong klaseng solute yung dinidissolve natin. Alam natin paano kumuha ng mole fraction. So yun yung dalawang importanteng mga bagay regarding this problem. So pinakita din naman natin paano mag-solve nung mole fraction. So tulad ng ginawa natin nung mga nakaraan. Okay. Next. Can you read this one? Maricel. Maricel, are you there? Sige, mukhang wala. Si Trace. Can you read this one? Trace? Wala. Virgil. Sige. Si Virgil.
0.500 mass percent KCl is dissolved in water and freezing point decrease to negative 0.234 degrees Celsius if water freezes at 0 deg C with Kf equals is
Okay.
1.86 deg C over M. What is the Van Hoff factor?
And the molality of the solution. Sige, thank you, Virgil. Yung A, we can easily answer A. What is the Van Hoff factor? Ano ba yung solute natin? So definitely, the solute, given pa lang ng mass percent niya, 0.5. So, ibig sabihin, the rest is water at 95.5. So, alam na natin, the solute is sino? Si water or si KCl?
KCl.
Water po.
Okay. Ala. Di ba sabi natin, solute is the one with the lower concentration. So, sino yung solute? Si?
KCl.
Okay, KCl.
Tang po, sir.
Solvent is water. Okay. So, si Van Hoff factor, ilan? Sino yung tinitingnan natin? Si solute. When it comes to the Van Hoff factor, I. So, kapag covalent siya, 1. Kapag ionic siya, depende sa ilang ions meron dyan. Ano ba to? Covalent or ionic?
Ionic, sir.
Ionic, okay. And therefore, ilang ions, kapag yung KCl mo dissolves in water, ilang ions ang mabubuo niya? Paano siya maghihiwalay? It will dissociate into K plus and ano?
Cl po.
Cl minus, 'di ba? Yan. Kaya siya naging KCl eh. Okay? So, ibig sabihin ilang ions ang present kapag dinisolve mo siya? Ilan?
Dalawa po.
Okay, dalawa. Ayan. So, your Van Hoff factor is 2. Yun na yun. So, depende kung ilan yung ions. Kunyari, Na2S. Yan. Sodium sulfide. Maghihiwalay yan into Na plus tsaka S2 minus. Kaso, dalawa yung sodium, kaya lagyan mo ng dalawa dyan. So, your I is 3. So, depende sa ions or sa yung chemical compound, sa ionic compound mo, kung ano yung magiging number of ions na meron sa kanya pag na-dissolve siya. Ilang moles ng ions. Okay? So, kung hindi maalala kung paano gawin yon, so balikan na, no? So, now, you're asked also the molality of the solution. M. Paano ba ang pagkakaayos ng formula ng freezing point depression? So, you have delta TF is equal to negative I KFM. Yan. So, yan. Delta TF is equal to negative I KFM na equal daw siya sa freezing point ng solution minus freezing point ng pure solvent. Ayan. Freezing point ng solution minus freezing point ng solvent. Ito, hindi natin kailangan to kasi ito yung freezing point depression. So to solve for M, we divide both sides by negative I KF. So M now is equal to TF solution minus your freezing point ng pure solvent mo over I negative I KF. Ang tanong, ano ba yung freezing point ng solution? Anong freezing point ng solution? O, dyan sa problem. Ano yung freezing point ng solution natin?
0.
Ha?
Negative
Zero.
0.34 Celsius.
Okay. Yung negative 0.234. Bakit siya? Kasi ito, nung naghalo ka daw ng 0.5 kCl, ayan no, bumaba yung freezing point. O di ba kaya nga, pag naglalagay tayo ng solute, nagkakaroon ka ng freezing point depression. Bumaba daw yung freezing point to 0.2, negative 0.234. So siya yung freezing point ng solution mo. Kung yung water daw, which is your solvent, ay nag-freeze at 0 degrees Celsius, o siya na yung TF ng solvent mo. Okay? Sulat natin yung unit para malaman natin paano siya nagka-cancel out. O, negative I, which is negative 2. Alam natin yan. And your KF is 1.86 deg-C per molal. So your deg-C will cancel out. Ang matitira sa'yo is yung unit ng molality mo, which is molal. Okay? Oh, by the way, your molality should always be positive. Kapag nakakuha ka ng negative na sagot, mali yun, ano? Hindi ka supposedly magkakaroon ng molality na positive. Again, your molality is mole solute over kilogram solvent. Hindi pwede magkaroon ng negative na value sa dalawang iyon. So your molality should be positive. So dapat yung makukuha natin dito is something na positive. Which is ilan?
0.063.
0.063 molal. Ayan. Okay? Nakuha ba? So, mas maikli yung solution nito kumpara dun sa kanina. Questions regarding this problem? Okay, so wala.
Wala, sir.
Mas malinaw. Okay, sige. Okay, next. Can you read this one? Excuse me. Christopher. Christopher Lord.
A solution made by dissolving 1.5 grams of solute in 25.0 ml of water at 25 Celsius as a boiling point of 100.45 Celsius. What is the molar mass of the solute? If it is a non-volatile, non-electrolyte,
Electrolyte.
and the solution behaves ideally, density for water at 25 Celsius equal 0.999 gram
Per
kb
ml.
ml k equals 0.12
Okay, so
cm.
kulang pa to. Your vapor, the boiling point for water at 1 atmosphere is 100 degrees Celsius. Okay. Ayan. So ngayon, yung hinahanap naman or yung problem naman natin is involving a boiling point elevation naman. So tumaas yung boiling point. And this time, lista muna natin yung mga given natin. So you have 1.5 grams solute na hindi natin alam kung ano ba yan. 25 ml water. Yung boiling point na to, is this the boiling point of the solute? Or sorry, boiling point of the solution or the boiling point of the solvent? Yung 100.45. Is it the boiling point of the solute or the solvent? Yung 100.45.
Solvent, sir.
Ha?
Solution.
50-50, no? Solution. Bakit siya? Kasi nga, ayan o, nag-dissolve ka ng solute sa tubig, tapos yung boiling point niya ay ito. Ano ba yun? Hindi naman siya pure solvent eh. It is solution. And the boiling point of the solvent, ayan o, yung kasusulat ko, is equal to 100 degrees Celsius. And marami pang given, ano. So let's take the formula for the boiling point elevation. Ito naman ay KB naman. KB times molality. Na yan daw i-equal sa boiling point ng solution minus boiling point ng solvent. Teka lang ha. Okay. So, ang pinapahanap sa atin ay molar mass. Yan, mm. Yan. Molar mass. Sige, isa-isahin muna natin. Paano kaya natin mapapalitaw yung molar mass from this formula? Sir, wala namang given ng molar mass. Yes, walang given, but we can derive the expression so that we will be able to get molar mass. Paano? These two, given na iyan. Actually, the TB solution minus TB solvent, yan yung equal sa delta TB. Ito yan. So we can substitute that 100.45 minus 100. So that means your TB solution minus TB solvent is just 0.45 degrees Celsius. Okay? Questions regarding doon? Okay
Wala
ba yun? Okay, sige. Next. Ano kaya yung I? Eh sir, di naman sinabi kung ano yung solute. At sabi dyan, yung solute mo is a non-volatile, non-electrolyte. Ano ibig sabihin ng electrolyte? Di ba pag umiinom kayo ng Gatorade, sabi with electrolytes. Ano ba ibig sabihin nun? Is it related to a covalent or an ionic compound? Palagay nyo. Ha?
covalent, sir.
Ito, tama. Pag sinabi mong non-electrolyte, it's a covalent compound. Ibig sabihin ng non-electrolyte, hindi siya nagpo-form ng ions. And therefore, your I is equal to 1.
1.
Substitute natin, 1. 1. Your KB is given. Ito. 0.512. Yung M, hindi natin alam. So to simplify, you have 0.512 M is equal to 0.45. Okay. Ito muna natin dyan. De-define natin. Ano ba ibig sabihin ng M? M, di ba, is molality? Yan. We isolate M. Siya yung investigahan natin. Yung M na yan is molality. Yan. Ang ibig sabihin ay mole solute per kilogram solvent. Yan. Eh paano yun? Yung given lang sa atin ay gram. Gram lang. But actually, if you want to expand pa yung mole solute, paano ba tayo kumukuha ng mole? O kung meron kang gram, paano ka ba kumukuha ng mole? Paano ba makukuha yung mole? Ano pang pinang-ano mo dyan? Pinang-convert mo dyan? Di ba?
Molar.
Kukunin mo yung molar mass terms of gram. So, ibig sabihin, para makuha mo yung mole solute, if you have the mass of the solute, i-divide mo lang siya ng molar mass, meron ka ng moles. Tama? Meron kang molar mass, meron kang mass ng solute, o let's say 1.5 grams, hindi natin alam, o kung ano man yung molar mass ng compound na yan, makakonvert mo na yan sa mole. So, itong mole solute na to ay naging ganyan. Okay? So, i-divide ulit natin yan ng kilogram solvent. Yan. Lumitaw na yung molar mass, ano? Which is yun yung hinahanap natin. So, yan yung dapat na ma-isolate natin. Na-substitute ko lang yung 1.5 grams divided by molar mass over ay kilogram pala ito. Kilogram solvent. You're given 25 ml. O, di ko convert ko lang. kilogram solvent. Sabi niya, eto, yung 25 ml daw niya, in 1 ml, you have 0.997 grams. Yan. Tapos yung 1,000 grams, 1 kilogram. Yan. Kung meron ka ng kilogram of your solvent, which is 0.02508 kilograms. Excuse. So, equal yan dito. 0.0208. Yan. Gusto mo pa i-simplify, 1.5 over 0.0208 times the molar mass. Ganyan yung mag-iitsura niyan. Para siyang A over X over B, A over BX. Ganyan yung itsura niya. Kasi over 1. Pupunta yung times 1 over B. Kaya ganyan yung magiging itsura niya. Anyway, so itong 1.5 over 0.0208 times molar mass, yun yung substitute natin pabalik dun sa M. So here, ito, kukunin ko ulit ito. That is 0.512 times 1.5 over 0.0208 times molar mass is equal to 0.45. Sa pagkakaayos na ganyan, cross-multiply lang yung gagawin natin to solve for mm. So, itong mm na to, molar mass na yan, siya yung mapupunta dito sa taas, yung 0.45 yung mapupunta sa baba. So, your molar mass is 0.5, ayan, times 1.5 over 0.0208 times 0.45. And you will get your molar mass in terms of grams per mole. 1.5 divided by 82.05 grams per mole. Yan. So, yan ay molar mass. Ito guys, para siyang AB, A times B over CX is equal to E. Yan. So, yung X mo, pwede siyang mapunta sa taas, yung E mo mapunta sa baba para maging AB over CE. Ganyan siya. Similar siya dyan. Algebra lang naman yan. Okay? So, kung tutuusin, pwedeng maging malikot yung pwedeng maraming derivation sa formula na yan. Pwede minsan density, pahanap sa inyo, especially ng kilogram solvent. Ang ganun ano. So, mahalaga alam natin paano i-derive yung mga parameters na yun. Okay? Meron ba kayong any questions? Any questions ba?
Wala po.
Okay, sige. So let me explain lang briefly kung ano yung ayan, dito na lang. Ayan, para sa intindihan ng mga hindi naka-attend ngayon. Ayan. Nabanggit ko from our last syllabus discussion that your grades will be composed of your midterm exam, finals, and an industry paper, paper plus reporting actually. Ayan. Midterms is 30%, finals is 30%, and this one actually comprise most of your grades at 40%. So sa paper and reporting, I will upload na lang kung ano yung mga requirement or ano yung mga groupings and ano yung mga industry na i-report. But this one, for each group, this is how you'll be graded. May paper na isasubmit, yung details or instructions kung ano yung laman ng paper ay ilalagay ko naman sa classroom, Google Classroom natin. You will report it, so dapat meron kayong PowerPoint presentation. Okay. So dyan sa tatlong yan. Yung paper is per group, yung PowerPoint is per group, and you're reporting individual. Ayan. Kung gaano kayo ka-okay pag nagre-report. Kasi so dapat ibig sabihin nun, all of the members in the group will report. Out of the 40%, 40% will be coming from your paper, 30% will be how the group reported, so as a group effort, and 30% will be paano naman kayo nag-report as an individual. Ayan. So mas maganda kung alam niyo kung ano yung hindi pala mas maganda, dapat naman talaga alam niyo kung ano yung nire-report niyo. So how our schedule will be So in this on Monday, that will be on January 22. So I'll be uploading the requirements or instructions para sa ating industry reporting and paper. I'll be giving you 2 weeks to prepare for this one. So ibig sabihin, the first reporting will be on February 5, followed by 9, 12, 16, 19, or kung aabot pa tayo ng 19. So depende. And if there will be additional days, kunyari kulang yung oras sa pagre-report, then sasabihin na lang natin. Ayan. Finals will be on February 24. Finals plus the paper na isasubmit sa akin. In case the group needs to consult kung ano yung kung may mga questions, ayan, I'm available naman. Starting January 26, 29, and Feb 2. No, kung may mga tanong kayo. Okay, we can discuss naman. Okay? So that ends yung lesson natin, but the finals will include yung mga presentation ng mga classmates ninyo doon sa paper or sa industry reporting. Okay? May mga tanong ba? Sige, Jasper.
Ano po sa groupings? Pipili po ba?
Hindi ako mag-a-assign.
Okay.
Sige. Daryl?
Sir, yung reporting po, hindi po ba manggagaling dun sa paper?
Tama, manggagaling dun sa paper.
Thank you po.
Okay. Kung ano yung assigned na industry sa group ninyo, yun din yung i-report ninyo.
Sir,
Jerry?
tanong po.
Mhm.
Yung reporting po ba is face-to-face po ba or online?
Online din.
Sige po. Thank you, sir.
Online din tayo dyan. Yeah. Kasi may class na ako sa Masters by January 27. So every Saturday may class na ako. Kaya medyo mahirapan.
Sir, bali dalawa yung gagawin. Paper tsaka yung sa PowerPoint po.
Tama. Mm-mm.
Then,
Yeah,
ipapasa
usually-
na lang po yung paper.
Yung alin, yung PowerPoint after the report, ipopost sa Google Classroom para ma-review ng mga classmates ninyo. Kasi isasama siya sa exam eh.
Then, yung paper po, ipapasa na lang.
Yung paper, ipapasa sa akin hard copy. So ibig sabihin, piprint nyo siya. Papasa sa akin sa mismong finals natin, February 24. Tama ba, ang finals ng PUP ay sorry, hindi ko na note. Excuse me. Meron ba kayong calendar dyan? Baka sumobra ako Wait lang. Check ko muna. So, academic calendar. Let's check. Teka lang. Mali pala. Ito ba to? February 5 to 11 pala yung finals. Ano ba ngayon? February 5 to 11. So, dapat. Sige, kahit siguro 17. Tingnan natin. 22. Dapat mag-start ng 29. Hindi pala. Feb 2. Sige, dapat Feb 2 pala tayo mag-start. Feb 2, 5, 9, 12. Para finals tayo ng Feb 17. Mag-extend tayo ng konti. Okay? Kala ko Feb 25 pa. Submission of first semester grades on February 21. So, may konting ano pa. Magandang panahon pa. Sige. If there will be adjustments on this, i-announce ko na lang. Ano bang, ngayon? 19 na kasi eh. So, ibig sabihin, makapag-upload ako ng 22 earliest. Kaya nyo ba yung 1 week? Hindi siguro. I doubt it. Kahit Feb 2. Sige, Feb 2 na lang yung start ng reporting. Yun na lang. May tanong pa?
Wala na po, sir.
Okay.
Wala na
Holiday
po.
din pala sa Feb 10. Chinese New Year. Sige. Ganyan na lang Okay. Sige, if there are no more questions, I will dismiss you early. So wala tayong class. Please stand by for the requirements to be to be posted in our Google Classroom. And we will meet again on February 2. That's a Friday. Okay? Sige. Bye everyone. See you on Friday, Feb 2.